The famous Scotch mountain. Oh, this is a fun one in the winter too. Going up or down. It's a great view though in the summer. Coming down the Scotch mountain. You know, it's amazing how much ground you cover when you're just out touring around on the bike. Looking at my clock here, I guess I left the house around noon, and it's only 2:39, so not even 3 hours. It's been 2 hours and 40 minutes that I've been out kind of touring around, and I've been everywhere from Collingwood to Markdale to Beaver Valley, almost to Owen Sound, Walters Falls. I've been all over Grey Bruce counties, or at least Grey County anyway, and it's only been, you know, a little over 2.5 hours. Now you try and do that in a car, and you wonder why it took you all day. And I'm not going any faster than the car, maybe a little, but it's just that easy to get around the countryside on a nice summer day on the bike.
So now that I got in from my nice big ride all over the countryside, it's time to clean up the bike. So I want to show you my ultra cool way that I clean up the bike. And I just happen to be fortunate enough to own my own car detailing shop. And what we use to detail vehicles is pure steam, no chemicals, no nothing. So our steam gun, one of them anyway, and I just fired it up, so it's still sputtering a bit, but once it gets going it smooths out. And let me show you how we take up. You can see all the bugs and stuff on here. These bugs are really baked on too, so it's taking a bit extra. But it works, and you don't need chems, and it certainly gets every bit of microscopic embedded dirt out. So it's a nice way to clean your bike. Also, you're going to see how I get in the nooks and crannies with it. The headlights here. I like to use a nice little kneeling pad for this.
St. Vincent Eugenia town line. Pretty nice this time of year. I was thinking of going all the way to Guelph today, but so gusty, I decided, nah, it's going to be a pain in the ass going all the way on the highway just for a joy trip, so I decided to cut the trip a little shorter. We'll head up this way and have to find something else to do, or go on slower roads, more sheltered roads. Anyway, this is a nice road. Usually not too heavy on traffic. Got good scenery. It's in good shape, nice and straight. Although some people like lots of twisties. I get enough of those down the valley and that. Forza is really not a racing down the twisty mountainside type of bike. It really is designed for urban transport, really, more than anything. But it can handle the country roads just fine. But it really shines when you're driving around the city or trying to get to work and back in the city, or you live maybe just outside of town. It's great for a commuter vehicle if you commute to work and back and the weather's decent. You can ride to work and back in the city. But in the country, well, it certainly goes fast enough. But there are bikes that have a better design for this sort of thing. This is the kind of country where you want a bike that's a little heavier, a little more powerful, so that it can buck the wind a little better. Can handle the longer drive. Mind you, this thing handled plenty of long drives for me. Never even gotten warm. The only time it's ever gotten warm was when I was sitting in a traffic jam for too long on a blitzing hot day, because it wasn't moving. It was just getting a little warm, and that was it. Other than that, I've never seen the thermometer move from 1/4 up. Nice day for a cruise. Now this is the part that's newly discovered. Once you get past Rockford there, kind of the part that nobody knows about. My secret road. This takes me by secret ways, and I can end up down in Beaver Valley without even being seen. It's amazing how I'm discovering roads that I never knew about. Ever since I started biking. Because when you're biking, you're just out exploring. You're not just trying to get from A to B. You're trying to find the longest or most interesting way to get from A to B. And sometimes there is no B. You just start at A and you might go until you end up back at A again. It's so much different than just riding a car. I'm always thinking down the road, you know, what's the next thing gonna be? And even though I'm still pretty happy with the Forza, I think it's a good looking bike and it's serving me well. I just always planning for the next bike, and I'm thinking, because of the area I live and the types of tours I'm discovering I like to do, I'm thinking something around a 750. I've looked a lot at the bigger bikes, and I just not convinced I really want to go there yet and get like an 1800, you know, 950 pound bike. I just not sure I want to do that. I still want to feel like I'm on a bike. I still want to be able to maneuver it around and you know, drive it like it's a bike and not like it's some kind of car on two wheels. I also really like this automatic transmission. You know, I'm not one of these guys that thinks it has to be manual or forget it, it's not a bike. I think technology has come far enough now that they can make a fine automatic transmission that goes plenty fast enough. Maybe if I was sport racing or something, you know, then I'd have a reason to not want an automatic, but I'm not sport racing. Cruising the back country roads, going on road trips and stuff. You don't need the sport race for that. So with that all said, I'm thinking, well, what would be a bigger bike, a little heavier, I could still have the automatic, and that comes down to two options that I've seen so far. You have the NC750X, with the CVT transmission. I've test driven it. It's a really easy bike to handle. I like the fact that it's a little taller, so it's made more for a taller guy like me, so it fits me better. And it just, even though it's a heavier bike, it feels lighter when you're driving it. You know, I could stop here and I could pull a Yui easily on that bike here without having to stop or look around or anything. I could just, you know, no problem on that bike. It's like riding a dirt bike. It's got the automatic transmission. It's got decent storage space, and it has really good looks. So that's definitely a contender in the next bike. It's also not too much money. It's probably in Canadian around 10 grand by the time you pay tax and everything. And then there's just something that just is an overdose of coolness. You could get the Honda NM4, which is what we call the Bat Bike. It looks like the Bat Bike, and it's great if you want something that turns heads and people look at it like, oh my god, I've never seen anything like that before. That's a pretty wicked looking thing. And it's also a 750, and it is also automatic transmission. It's sort of like the big, cool, mean looking cruiser.